Hey guys, I'm Eclipse, co-founder and creator of the Eclipse Mini Battle Royale, and today I'm going to be showing you how to create the medieval biome inside of the Eclipse Season 2. I've seen a lot of love for this biome, and Eddie and me have worked really hard into it, and I feel like it captures the medieval feel. But before we start, we need to look at an example and all of the stuff that we are going to use for this tutorial. As you can see, I have an example here, 15 minutes, I just wrapped something up for an example. You can see there's a bunch of things that I use, but they use minimal memory except these flags. These flags are worth a lot, but that's pretty much it with the memory. The memory is not that bad with the medieval biome, so don't need to worry if you want to add this to one of your BRs. But this is a tutorial, not showing an example video, so let's get into what you guys need to build this beautiful biome. As you can see, we have a bunch of things here that we use. We have nature and terrain, and then we have a few decoration items. So I have them labeled here, and I'm going to go through the video so you guys can write them down. They will also be in the description down below if you can't see them, if they're blurry or something. Okay, so hopefully you have all of this stuff out and ready. So let's start building. We obviously have to make our terrain first, which situates the biome on top of it. And I use the Shark Cliff Gallery, and I use this corner piece, and I put it on Grid Snap 2 and Collision on Nothing. Then, once you're ready, however tall your island is, it's always two notches from sea level, but for today we're gonna do 4 notches up. So let's get 4 notches up and let's place it, let's get a few meters away. 4 notches up, 1, 2, 3, 4, and let's place. So you can obviously place the terrain like this, but it could be dodgy sometimes. But if you're a god like me, I stand on top of the train, put it to Grid Snap 2, and just start running. And once you've gotten your shape or your outline, you can come back to see where I'm finished. Now I have a general shape, and we need to fill in these gaps here. So we also get this flat terrain piece with no grass, no like it's just plain green. We get this from the Shark Cliff Gallery as well. You can size it all the way up, and we can gather this, and Grid Snap 2 is the preference. Now you can see it, there's a little notch right here, there's a little bevel. So what I do is I go off the grid and I just line it, I just eyeball it up. There will always be a line like you can see, but I mean, it's annoying. Fortnite's got to do something about it, but that's the best you can do. You can barely see it. So then you just, off the grid, you just place it until it's all filled out, and I'll get back to you when we have the terrain all finished. So the terrain is all done. You can see I did the same trick, the terrain on Grid Snap 2 with the floor pieces on it filling in the gaps, and then I just alternated with terrain so it'd be easier to walk up, just make it more natural. The more natural your terrain looks, the better your BR is going to be received, because it's a better experience for the players to play if you can just walk up a mountain instead of building it. So now we need to add some terrain. We need to add some rocks, some pine trees, and this is a medieval biome, so we will be using one pine tree from the variant foliage gallery B to save memory, of course, and off of Grid Snap, Collision on Nothing, and then we want this on Resize, and then All. So then you just resize it, and then you just keep on resizing, alternating from big to medium to small, and it doesn't matter where you place it. I usually place a big one, a medium one, and a small one next to each other like that. Now that we've placed our pine trees, let's add some rocks. So I used 3 rocks from the variant rock gallery. I use this big one, I also use this one, and I use this one. This big one, maybe like a couple times around, just to spice it up. And then I go for this one. This one I can place more since it's a tinier rock and it gives less materials. Then when you place those, then we can go on our final rock. And what I do is I go to non-resize, I go to rotate, and then I put it on pitch. So then I can just rotate this one. The reason why I don't rotate any of the other ones because they just look funky while upside down or just not in their regular rotation. So then I just rotate it random and just place it where it looks good in that rotation. And this rock is so good because all its rotations look extremely natural. So you can just place them however you want. And once you have the rocks, our last nature piece is the bush from the variant foliage gallery A. And I used 2 different sizes here, but mainly I used the regular size. So I gather it, and then the rotation is yaw. And then what I do is I place a bush, and then I rotate it, and I place it a little bit down into the ground. So it looks like this bush, it looks like that. It looks really natural, I like it, and it just fits with the overgrown pine tree medieval forest that you see in like Game of Thrones or a medieval show, Witcher. And don't be afraid to place a bunch of these bushes. I am not afraid to place these bushes. Place them anywhere. Place them in like a single bush or place them 2, like it doesn't really matter. So you place these bushes and it's looking great so far. It's looking extremely good. Pathways that go along in the biome. So what I use is this flat terrain piece from the Tan Cliff Cave Gallery. Wow, that is a tongue twister. And I take the normal size and at yaw, and I'm gonna use this spot right here. I'm gonna do maybe start from here, do a loop, and yeah, that's what I'm going for. So we come down here to the terrain and just find a height that you want your terrain piece. I like it a little bit down low. I like it when it starts getting light blue, and then you get on top of it and you just make sure you rotate it. Whenever you place a new piece, rotate it 90 degrees. And when I do a dead end, I just like do that, make it look, I don't know, just do something to make it look like a dead end. And then right here, this is a good spot. It's a really good spot. You can see the terrain gets a little bit bigger. So I'm just gonna grab this, but what you can do is just, instead of changing the height or resizing it from all, just change the width and the depth to a bigger size so you can stay the same height. So let's find the same height. Yeah, let's say this. It doesn't have to be exact because you won't really see that where it looks natural. So you can see I'm widening it, making it look like a good flow. You might want to, change a few things. I want to move these, and this is a good spot. Usually when I have a little circle or a little green area in between my pathways, I gather the tiny bush and I do the same thing as I did with the big bush, but it's a tiny bush. Like so, and it just covers this area. It looks really, really good. Now, it's not looking medieval. This could just be literally any biome in Fortnite. So we have to decorate it. Now, I use these 6 decorations mainly. For example, let's place the flags first to make sure its collision is on everything. And let's just place the flag here, the flag here, here. There we go. So we placed our flags. Make sure the flags just make it look like it's being occupied by a kingdom or a faction or something. Then I go for the wheelbarrows on everything as well, and you just, before placing any prop, just place it where it just looks natural. Everything that you place, just make sure it looks natural. So then I get these big crates, I do the same, make sure it looks occupied, maybe like off of here. Just follow what I'm doing, just make it look like it's occupied. And you could gather a chest, go off of everything collision, go onto rotation and place it where it looks like it's in the thing. And you can also get a wheelbarrow where it looks like it's gone off the road or something, it's flipped over. You can gather the chest, make it look like it's fallen. And then this lamppost spices everything up. I usually put it on a corner piece, make sure it's not floating. But there we go. Just place it in good spots. At dead ends, I usually place it at dead ends. Or I usually place it on these corner pieces right here. That's basically it. You can see the medieval biome. Like, you can add like castles, you can add like stands, but this is the basic medieval biome that you can see scattered around the Eclipse Season 2. I hope you guys use this for your advantage to make your BR look way more natural, way more alive than usual. And make sure you like and subscribe. Use code ECLOllie in the item shop if you liked what you saw here today. And I'll see you guys in the next tutorial. See you guys next time.